Setting the right priorities in life, well, that's not easy, and it's important though. And we think about family, we think about work. What are the right priorities? Gabe is back with us. Welcome back, Gabe.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Hey, everybody.
Well, Gabe, when you think of priorities, how important is family to you?
You know, family is my number one priority in life right now. I would say, and I got married after already having a job with Studio Classroom. So I already had this full-time thing going on. And so at the beginning, it's kind of like, okay, well, how do I squeeze in time for my wife? And how do I make quality time a priority with her? And then now with a toddler, with a son, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, well, how can I make that a priority as far as making the time that we have quality, because the fact is they are a priority in life.
So what you're saying is priorities change, right, throughout our lives. Right?
Yeah, and that's okay. And it's not to say that my job is not important to me. I enjoy my job. I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do. I want to do the best at my job, but I also have to, I have to be more intentional now about keeping in mind, okay, my work hours are this much, and try to do as much as I can outside with family.
Family is really important, and they should be a priority, and that's what we learn in our lifestyle article this month. Well, Gabe, do you think in our society, we often get our priorities mixed up with regards to work and family? You've already touched on that, but how can we do a better job of drawing that line between work and family time?
Yeah, I think that in our minds, even a lot of really hardworking businessmen and maybe people who are kind of workaholics at heart and who are married, in their minds, they think and they say, yeah, family is a priority. And even though they love their jobs, I think the important thing is to be intentional about your jobs and what you're doing and about your family, because you could get off work just in time, when work ends every day, and go hang out with your family or do things that are important to you. But if you're not intentional about that family time and being all there, you're not looking at your smartphone, you're not doing other things, because that can take up your time too. It's not just work.
That's true.
So it's about being intentional, whether at work or in the family or with your friends or whatever. And I think that will help you to appreciate all aspects of your life even more.
That's a really good point. You may be physically there with your family, but you may be disengaged, right? And so you have to be engaged with the family in order to really get all you can out of that time and to give all of yourself to them, right? And making that priority. Well, we also talk about, Gabe, the importance of humility at work. How can we have a humble outlook in the workplace?
Yeah. The lesson does mention not thinking too much about yourself, not boasting, and being willing to accept other people's feedback and criticism and things like that. And I was thinking also part of humility is, our article touched on the idea of truth and speaking truth, right? And sometimes it can actually be a proud thing if you're not telling other people the truth about how they can improve or how something they did affected you in a negative way. And maybe you're thinking, oh, I just don't want to upset the other person. But that's kind of a proud thing to do. They have a blind spot maybe, and you could have a voice or a place to help them realize it and communicating in a loving way. And I think that's also considered humility.
That's a great point. Oftentimes we're afraid to speak up, but we need to in certain situations, but we can do it in a loving way.
I always appreciate, I can list a number of times, real times in the past where coworkers or supervisors have told me something that I could have done better. That I appreciate. It took humility, I think, on their part to be able to approach me like that.
All right, well, be sure to check out our article for more information.